All right, everyone, welcome back. We have another WCW Monday Nitro here. We're going to kick things off with MJF, our newest world champ, arriving to the arena. Just a quick little video package. He hops out the limo, nice suit on. He's got the belt over his shoulder, glasses on, and he heads, out throughout the building. That's what we see. MJF showing up. All right. So just simmering. He didn't do much. He just showed up. So that's good. We got a 60 rating for that. I like that. Let's move on. We got backstage. Featured attraction is bumps into FTR, our new World Tag Team champs. And before FTR can even get a word in, featured attraction just immediately start with the beatdown. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong one. They're just having an interview, I guess. Sorry, I changed the booking on that one. So they're just having an interview. Featured attraction is basically trash talking FTR, saying that they want another shot at those titles, that, they're not done here, basically. So that one got the crowd heat hot and rising. Segment was a 67. Got the crowd hotter. I like it. Very good. So here we have Natalya versus Zeta Zhang. It was a poor match. Natalya picking up the win here. Using underhanded tactics. Okay, I did that completely wrong as well. Supposed to be the other way around, but that's alright. And we also had Toni Storm, who ran in and attacked Natalya. At least we got that part right. So I think I just changed or accidentally picked the wrong finish for the match. But other than that, did all right. The crowd heat at the end was hot. Ooh, despite that the rating is lower than the other two. Not good there, but that's all right. All right, yeah. So backstage, here's an interview. It's Theory getting interviewed by JoJo, where he's talking about how he'd still be U.S. champ right now if it wasn't for that, idiot Ron Killings and messing everything up and can't get things straight. Like, just can't accept that he's not in WWE anymore. And he spends the rest of the interview trash talking Samoa Joe. And, saying he will get his U.S. title back one way or the other. White hot at the end. That's good. Segment only did a 58. Nah, not the worst. All right, yeah. Happy with the way the interview went. Here we are. This is what it was backstage. We have featured attraction bumping into FTR in the back. They get into a bit of a scuffle, get into each other's faces, and eventually get pulled apart. So instead of getting their hands on FTR, featured attraction has to settle for the Good Brothers. And let's see, it was a decent match. Featured attraction picking up the win over the Good Brothers, of course. Crowd heat at the end was very hot. I like that. The wrestling rating was a 59, crowd 53, segment 64. I like that. Both teams, know each other, have good chemistry, so the match did well there. I like that. So featured attraction picking up the win, still keeping their minds set on FTR. They want those tag titles back, and they're headed there, most likely. And so tonight, a little measure of revenge. Doesn't quite get him his U.S. title back, but Austin Theory has a chance here to settle things up with Ron Killings. And he picks up the win after an A-Town down. The crowd heat was very hot. 57 for the wrestling, 54 for crowd rating, and a 60 for the segment rating overall. All right, yeah, they got good chemistry. They did a good match together. I like that. Ugh, awful 6 minute angle. Of course, it's with these guys. Hopefully, they improve better. It's the Dark Ministry, Mordecai and the Righteous. And they're just out here cutting a promo talking about Sting, likes to think of himself as the WCW savior, but he will save nothing. He says the Dark Ministry, they all say the Dark Ministry is here and they will set things right in WCW. So it looks like they all did well, at least improvising. So that was good. Crowd heat at the end was very hot. Segment only did a 39. Like I said, hopefully they improve as they gain, some momentum here since they haven't really had all that much TV time. But things are looking good. Things are picking up with the Dark Ministry versus Sting. Let's move on. Here we are. We have a fatal four-way. Joe Hendry versus Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Nick. And let's see, it had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. That's all right. Nick picking up the win. Who did he pin? He pinned Kushida after the Danger Zone. Crowd heat at the end was very hot. I like that. Wrestling 49, crowd 46. Segment rating did a 54. All right, Nick completed his turn. I had him doing a turn, so I'm glad they got that out of the way. Kyle O'Reilly's hints at a future face turn. And Joe Hendry, still the popular one of the group. Not surprised, not surprised. Oh, we got Angle backstage. Uh, Basically, Brian Pillman, he wants another shot. He wants another match with Sheamus. Sheamus tells him he'll think about it, but he's not really too sure. I mean, he already got one win over Pillman. Why does he want to go at it again? He says he'll still give it some thought, but tells the kid not to get his hopes up and leaves. And Brian Pillman is left just standing there, just angry as could be, upset. He wants his match. He wants a rematch. Crowdy at the end was still very hot. Segment only did a 45. What is this? JoJo performed poorly in the segment. Okay, well, another interview. This time with Toni Storm. Toni Storm saying, she didn't quite make things happen the way she wanted in the match tonight where Natalya picked up the win. But she says that's just because Natalya is just a dirty cheater. And she's glad that she was there to witness it for herself so she could point it out to the world. Completely misses the fact that she was out there to try to cheat to try to help Zeta win. Not necessarily to help Zeta win, just making sure that Natalya lost. But so it was a very good interview. That's good considering that the last angle with the Dark Ministry was very awful. And yeah, she got a 76 for her segment rating. Crowd heat at the end was very hot. Despite JoJo not performing well, she did well. Toni Storm has a hot catchphrase, and yeah, Toni Storm works well without a script. All right, we're gonna keep letting her talk on her own and come up with her own things. Clearly, she knows what she's doing. Backstage, Sheamus just hanging around again when all of a sudden he's attacked by Brian Pillman Jr. He said, if he can't get a match, he'll settle for beating Sheamus down every time he sees him. So here we are, Pillman standing tall after the sneak attack on Sheamus. Crowd heat was very hot. Segment was only a 46, but that's all right. And here we have MJF who comes out and he cuts a promo and he says he's the world champion. He's here to stay as world champion. AJ Styles couldn't cut it, but he certainly can because he's better than AJ Styles. And before he gets to fully get on into celebrations, he's interrupted by none other than Kenny Omega. Omega says, MJF just became champion and already he's tired of him. He's tired of hearing him. He's tired of seeing him with that belt. And he says he's going to take it from him at Starrcade. MJF doesn't really doesn't disagree, but he doesn't agree with it either. Instead, he kind of just waves Omega off, like, like you're nothing, and leaves the ring with the title and quickly makes his way to the back. He's not here for any of that nonsense. So the crowd at the end was very hot. Segment did a 76. Let's go ahead, finish the show here. Overall, did a 64. I think that's better, or around the same as some of our other shows. Again, we lost popularity in 11 regions, but we gained popularity in 33 regions, which that is good. I like that. Definite growth. All right. Don't need to worry about the financial report. Don't care about the popularity crap. Let's continue. And as always, I'll see you again right after this when we find out if there's any interesting news or if we got any interesting mail from anybody. And I'll see you in a moment here. All right, let's take a look at the headlines. How did Raw do? Let's see. It's positive. Most like the vast majority of the show, and the performance of the night went to Rhea Ripley. No surprise there. Let's see. Nitro, what do we do here? Oh, the show was good, but some found it underwhelming. I'm so sorry to them. Let's check out the rest of these headlines, see if there's anything worth of note. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, no, not really. Yeah, no, that was it. Let's take a look at our mail here. That's just the drug test and the viewing figures, 4.5 mil. I like it. All right, so that was another edition of Monday Nitro here on the WCW Revival. Um, After this show, I believe we have two more Nitros before Starrcade, maybe three, but I'm pretty sure it's two. So, all right, that was it. Thank you everyone for joining me on another Monday Nitro. Hopefully, I'll see you again at the next one. Just make sure like, subscribe, just so you can stay up to date if you enjoyed the content. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.